What is the cost of not taking action? So before we dive into this one, as always, my name is Mike Poglese, co-founder of Automated Coaching Engine, where we partner with transformational coaches, expert coaches, help them stack more cash without sacrificing more of their time. And so, like I said, this video today is going to be about what is the cost of not taking action? What is the cost of inaction? Oftentimes we reference, like what does it cost to take action? Maybe startup cost, time, effort, sacrifices. There's a lot of things that go into play when it comes into the cost of taking action. But on the flip side, what is the cost of not taking action? This can obviously, just like most of my videos here, it can obviously be applied across pretty much everything. So when we think about the mind, the body, business, your relationships, it can always all be applied across the board. And so the cost of taking action, usually, with business, usually it has to do with sacrifices, investments, signing up for coaching programs, hiring new employees, hiring new team members. So there's always like a cost of taking action. But on the flip side, what if you don't take action on those things? What if you don't make that new hire? What if you don't invest into that coaching program? What if you don't expand on your business offers? What if you don't take action? What is the cost of not taking action? For example, Automated Coaching Engine, it's a certain fee to sign up. We have a guarantee ROI, a 6x ROI within 90 days or your money back. But that's the cost of taking action. That certain fee is the cost of taking action, matched with a sacrifice that you need to make as far as your time and commitment, showing up, taking action, all that good stuff. But if you don't take action, what is that cost? Times it leads to still having frustration with generating leads, still being stuck with the same monthly recurring revenue that you currently have, or maybe you're still in that same position where you're not achieving a predictable source of revenue because you don't have our lead generation system in place. So the cost of not taking action is everything that you're not going to get if you were to take action. And so when we think about different situations, different decisions that we have to make on a day-to-day basis, we can think about the cost of taking action. What am I going to need to do to actually take action on this task or this project or make this investment or make this move? And then we can also focus on the cost of not taking action. What happens if I don't take action on this? Do I stay in the same place? Is that same place good or bad? Is that pushing me towards my dreams and my goals, etc., etc.? And so, like I said, this applies on every single level. When you think about your body, the cost of taking action is having to work out every day, having to watch your diet and nutrition, having to maintain specific discipline as far as your routine to make sure that you even have the time to take action. Now, what is the cost of not taking action? Maybe you don't have as much energy as you would if you did wake up and get to work on your body every single day if you put a workout in. Maybe you don't feel as confident because you don't like the way that you look in the mirror. Maybe you're uncomfortable as far as, the way you look when you take your shirt off at the beach. Maybe your family members don't respect you as much because you're not doing the things that you're telling them to do. Cost of not taking action obviously severely outweighs the cost of taking action in most cases. Now, on the flip side, it could also be one of those situations where it's reversed, to where the cost of not taking action is a more desired outcome versus the cost of taking action. So that's why I think it's very important to think like this on both sides of the equation. Like I said, we covered, business, we covered the body, your mindset. What is the cost of taking action on improving your mindset? Reading 10 pages per day, journaling, having a meditation session, all of these things are the cost of taking action, the effort and sacrifices that you're going to have to put into place to improve the mindset. Now, the cost of not taking action there is you're not improving your knowledge by not reading. You're not getting your thoughts out of your head by not journaling. You are obviously not clearing your mind or putting yourself into a positive mindset through meditation and all of these things. In that case, the cost of taking action severely outweighs the cost of not taking action. The desired outcome from taking taking action is a much better desired outcome than the cost of not taking that action. And so same thing in the relationships. What if I don't do this thing? What if I don't spend this time with my significant other? What if I don't spend money on this trip to go, have a good quality time with my family and make memories? And so this one specifically always hits home with me because it's something that I constantly think about, as it's usually a frustrating situation. Prime example is my mom. She's always trying to book trips, and it's honestly a little frustrating on my side of things. At first mention, when she's like, hey, let's go here, hey, let's do this, hey, I'm thinking about booking a trip for here, then I'm like, fuck dude, I can barely even think about what I'm doing today. I got a lot on my plate. The last thing I want to think about is some trip in 6 months. But at the end of the day, going back to my statement here, the cost of taking action is focusing on what I need to do to book that trip. What are the financials? What is the time commitment? What is the travel gonna look like? What do I need to get there? All of those things. So that's the cost of taking action. But the cost of not taking action is, what if I don't have these opportunities to not go on these trips with my family? What happens when, my family gets to a point, if they get to a point to where these trips can't be as frequent because of other commitments that we have? If you think about situations on both sides, it's going to be a perspective change in your mind. I want you guys to think about, number one, the cost of taking action obviously is very important. But on the flip side, if you're stuck on a decision, think about the cost of not taking action. Think about the desired outcome if you don't take action on that task. One thing that I often like to think about in this situation is, which path am I cutting off? Am I cutting off the path to my desired, my dream outcome, my goals? Or am I cutting off the path to the past or my current present moment in time? And so a lot of times with changes, it falls underneath of that very severe question there, where it's if I make this investment as far as a new hire, a new employee, expanding the sales team, what is the cost of taking action? Okay, I'm going to have to train them. I'm going to have to go through a growth phase where they're probably not going to be good off the rip and a bunch of other shit. But what is the cost of not taking action? Okay, I still have to take all of the sales calls. I'm still going to be grinding my dick off every single day. I'm going to be frustrated. I'm going to be wearing all the hats. I'm ultimately never going to really grow the business to where I want it to go. So the cost of taking action, sacrificing a little bit of time, effort, and commitment to get a sales rep trained up, find the right one, get them trained up, and get them into a position where they're closing deals and I can trust them with the sales process, severely outweighs the cost of not taking action on that. Obviously, I don't want to take sales calls all the time. It's not that I don't want to do them. I don't see the value in them. It's more so that I need to do other things in the business, and you can't fucking do everything. With that said, for you watching this, what is something that you've been contemplating where you're thinking about the cost of taking action versus the cost of not taking action? And I would argue to say that you're only focused on the cost of taking action, the investment, the time commitments, the tasks that you're going to have to implement to do versus the desired outcome. And so I really like this conversation because, number one, with a lot of our coaches, this is something that we have to, change a perspective in their mind as far as their sales process, their marketing, and all of that stuff, because the conversations are often focused on the cost of taking action. Oh, I don't want to spend $5,000 on a 90-day program, a fitness program. I don't have $3,000 to spend on a divorce coach or a relationship coach to help my marriage. But on the flip side, I always tell them, now focus on conveying to the prospect, what is the cost of not taking action? If somebody doesn't buy that $5,000 90-day fitness program, they're still not going to be happy. They're still not going to have energy. They're still not going to be confident, and everything's going to stay the same for them. Are they happy with their current life? Probably not. They wouldn't be on the phone with you if they were. Same thing on the relationship side of things. What is the cost of not taking action on a relationship coach? You never attract the person of your dreams. You never put yourself into a position to where your partner is satisfied with you. Potentially divorce. Divorce is a very expensive thing, emotionally, physically, monetarily. And whereas, that $3,000 relationship coach might be worth, spending to potentially help your relationship versus going through that $20,000 divorce or whatever the fuck it's going to end up costing you. And so with that said, with the decisions that are coming up on your plate today, think about, number one, most importantly, the cost of taking action. What are you going to have to do to take action? But on the flip side, what is going to happen if you don't take action? What is the cost of inaction? So as always, like, comment, share with a friend, subscribe, show some love, and we'll catch you on the next video. Peace out.